Hello, Briar. So I'm just doing reporting for today's trading session. I did trade only Nasdaq this morning. I did only three trades, two break evens and one win, and yeah, I was done and dusted by 10 o'clock, pretty much. So as mentioned, I did three trades. So let's just go and quickly have a look on my entry model and why did I chose to enter there and the reasoning behind it. I don't know whether you noticed, but I started to create this little note so it's easier for me to then describe what went through my head when actually I entered the trade. So as of the first, this big one is the first trade. I have entered. I was watching. To be honest, I was watching this POI, this candle just right here, this supply just below open POI, since we had a volume area high sitting just right there. However, after we swept this little liquidity just right here, I was waiting for internal liquidity to be created additionally, and then I was looking if we're gonna align with the supply that is sitting right at the POC of this bearish leg. Now, once we reach this liquidity level, I put my sell limit on this POI. So basically, entry at the bottom and stop loss at the top. Targeting mainly this liquidity to be taken. That's gonna be the fuel for me for price to push into the supply, and from there I was expecting a big downfall. As you can see, my initial target was this is a 50-minute POI and this one is one. So I was really hopeful that we're gonna get to this level. However, I was quite greedy because the price turned around at 1 to 5 RR. I was therefore kicked out an hour later, just right here at break even. My second trade actually followed the same pretty much logic as the first trade. I again we saw a displacement of the that support supply breaking below these lows. After the big sweep up, taking all these little ones, I started to look for entering to add on onto my other trade. And when this fresh supply was left behind, right, sitting at the POC of this second bearish leg, I have set a limit. I have set the limit 1 to 4. However, I got swept out. Well, I'm saying swept out because this all like it's just sweeping all the buy side liquidity before returning back down and taking the sell side. So I was swept out, break even. So these two trades break even. Again, like these are my reasonings of my entry if you want to have a proper look. And the third trade I have taken after the swept happened. So we have pretty much taken all this liquidity. We revisited the point of interest and we respected the supply. This is 1 and 5 minute supply. We respected it. We have a clear rejection. The volume of the sellers increased. So I'm always trying to look at the volume as well. And whenever, for example, in this sort of scenario, when I'm trying to pick the top or the bottom, if the volume of the following candle, of rejection candle, is not at least 65-70% of the previous leg, I actually wouldn't trade it. But because we see from past few table candles on volume, we see clearly sellers stepping in and protecting this level. They started to push the price down. I have entered on a flip of this little flip. or demand that this, when this flip held this one candle, I have actually put a limit just on the bottom of this flip, and my target was 50% of this flip possible. So 1 2 7 11, this trade was a win. Now obviously there were different confluences. I was looking at how the market acted upon open. I was looking at the liquidity, the structural base, as well as either continuation model, which I was actually mainly targeting today, and that. Sorry, Briar, my speaking or my explaining skill at this stage is zero. So I did my best. I really hope you understand what I meant and why did I choose my entries. They were all limit orders. Again, I'm proud of, because I managed to close off the computer right after this, and I actually didn't even forward test anymore. I was spending some time with my little one. So anyhow, on one-on-one on Friday, in case you want me to do some stuff differently, just so it's easier for you, please let me know. Thank you and have a good night.